In the 6th century BC, Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher who made things happen, real innovator, this man taught that the only thing permanent in life is change. I mean, we live in a constantly changing world. Well, that seems to be most prevalent in the IT and cybersecurity realm. We're told that even the fastest computers we can buy today might be obsolete in just a matter of months. Science textbooks are sometimes out of date by the time they're even printed. In the words of the late radical psychiatrist Ronnie Lang, crazy guy, we live in a moment of history where change is so speeded up that we begin to see the present only when it's already disappearing. Think about it. The weather changes. Personal relationships come and go. Work responsibilities shift. Our income fluctuates. Our children grow up. Our hair turns gray. Inability to cope with these and other changes invariably leads to stress, which we all know can cause a whole host of emotional and physical problems. Now, think about the stress that has come as a result of massive changes to our society from COVID-19 in a relatively short period of time. Oh, things like stay-at-home orders, social distancing, shifting to a remote work environment, temporary shortages of basic goods, toilet paper, anyone? Virtual schooling for our children, virtual doctor's appointments, virtual conferences like this one. I mean, what's next? Virtual dating? Well, wait a minute. eHarmony's been around for a long time, so we've got that covered. Seriously, though, medical research tells us that acute stress is actually a good thing. See, it wakes up our brains and our bodies for action and enhances our performance in danger. You know, it's that whole fight or flight thing, right? But by contrast, chronic stress is not so good. See, there's a greater reactivity and slower recovery of the stress response. Now that means that the stress response is triggered more and more easily in response to lower and lower levels of stress and takes longer and longer to revert to a normal state. The result? Major strain to both the brain and the body that can lead to symptoms of mental and physical illness. In a study published by the academic journal theconversation.com, Canadian professor of kinesiology Jennifer Heitz of McMaster University wrote, "An unfortunate side effect of the COVID-19 pandemic is its impact on psychological distress and mental health. Psychological stress, such as conflict with a family member, activates the stress response, get this now, in the same way as a physical threat." Wow. I hate to tell you this, but pandemic or no pandemic, as we continue through the 21st century, it will only get worse. The pace will only quicken. Irish author George Bernard Shaw once said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything."